In May 2006, 32-year-old Rey Rivera disappeared from his Baltimore home without warning. 6 days later, his body was found in a disused conference room at the Belvedere Hotel, one of the city's oldest and most mysterious landmarks. The details of his death remain as confusing today as they were when investigators first arrived. Rey was a writer, filmmaker, and newly married to his wife, Allison. The couple had recently moved from Los Angeles to Baltimore so Rey could work for his close friend, Porter Stansberry's financial publishing company. He was ambitious and creative, a man who dreamed of making movies and writing stories about heroes and truth. But in the days before he vanished, something seemed to be troubling him. On May 16th, Allison was away on a business trip when she tried to call Rey and got no answer. Later that night, he received a phone call that made him rush out of the house. He grabbed his keys, left the lights on, and didn't take his phone. He was never seen alive again. 6 days later, his body was discovered at the Belvedere Hotel after staff noticed a hole in the roof of a lower conference room. The fall had been from 6 floors up, but nothing about the scene added up. His glasses and phone were found nearby with barely a scratch. The hole in the roof didn't line up with any accessible ledges, and the jump trajectory was physically improbable. Police ruled his death a probable suicide, but his family and friends were certain otherwise. The clues deepened the mystery. In Rey's office, investigators found a strange note taped to the back of his computer. It referenced Freemasonry, secret societies, and a list of names, including people he admired and movie characters. The note was written in small type and cryptic language, ending with the words, "Whom virtue unites, death will not separate." Police dismissed it as personal musings, but to many it looked like a code. His friends said Rey had recently seemed anxious, convinced he was being followed. Some suspected he'd uncovered sensitive information through his work in finance. Others believed his death had been staged to look like suicide, the details intentionally left to confuse. The Belvedere itself added to the legend, a century-old building with a history of secrets, old tunnels, and hidden service paths that could explain how Rey's body ended up where it did. But even that theory never solved the impossible angle of the fall. Years later, the case resurfaced in the Netflix series Unsolved Mysteries, reigniting public interest. Yet no new evidence has emerged. Rey Rivera's story is the kind of mystery that sits between logic and intuition, a man who may have known something too great to speak aloud. A fall that physics can't explain, a note that feels like a warning, and a question that still echoes through Baltimore's quiet nights. What really happened at the Belvedere Hotel?